Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you are watching for the first time, hi and welcome. My name is Natasha and I do hope you become a part of this beautiful family just by clicking that red subscribe button below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and interact in the comment section. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for coming back and I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Yeah, let's get straight into it, guys. Okay, so for today's video I am obviously going to be talking about the whole dynamics behind being pregnant while you're a Christian and you are not married yet. Yes, that's the way to put it. So guys, I've made a few points that I do not want to forget to mention in this video. It's not gonna be a very serious one, but it's just gonna be like me sharing basically how I felt. I haven't really written everything that I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna be speaking from my heart mostly. But these are just points that I would like to guide me so that I also don't forget to mention what I want to mention, and also so that I don't drift away from the whole topic. So as you all know, I am a mother now. I have a little beautiful baby boy who is currently 6 weeks. And it's been a beautiful journey, a very difficult one, but a beautiful one, I won't lie. Difficult in the sense that it's not easy being a mother, guys. It's quite challenging. Firstly, because your whole life changes. Your whole life literally changes, and it's no longer about you. It's literally about you and this human, you know. And I don't want to say it's about this human because I believe that being a mother doesn't really take away from who you are, but it's just an addition, you know, of now it's not just you, but now there's another person that you need to consider with everything that you do, you know. So yeah, it's got its challenges, but it's a very beautiful journey, knowing that you are protecting them and making sure that they grow well, you're nurturing them, and knowing that your whole child's life is dependent on you, and you need to do your best basically to give your child the best, you know. It's a beautiful feeling. Yeah, so that's that. I do share more about my, you know, journey and, you know, basically motherhood and how it's treating me. I do share more of that on my Instagram, so if you do not follow me, I'm gonna insert my handle down below. You can just follow me on Instagram. I promise to follow back. If I don't, it's probably because you have put your account on private. Guys, I don't follow back accounts that are private because I want to see your content. I want to see who you are, what you're about, before I just follow you back, you know. So yeah, and people who have 0 posts and then their accounts are private, or people who literally have 0 posts and then they expect you to follow them back, like CP. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. So yeah, anyways, without drifting off the topic, to share with you guys basically my experience and how I found, you know, telling family members, telling friends about, you know, my pregnancy, and, you know, basically announcing my pregnancy to them and how they reacted. It was a very interesting journey, you know, because, you know, some people were genuinely happy for me, and some people were trying to act happy, but you could tell that there was a bit of maybe, you know, whatever thoughts that they might have had. And it's an interesting journey to go through, especially if you're Christian, because you know that there are people who are going to be genuinely happy for you, and then there are those who are not going to be genuinely happy for you. So yeah, but I'm going to share all of that in this video. But what I want to start off by talking about is basically, you know, my journey. So I did touch up a bit on, you know, a bit of my background in terms of my reproductive health. I touched up a bit on that in my how I found out I was pregnant video. I'm going to insert the link to the video, or if you want to watch it, you can just scroll through my videos. And I did mention in that video that my, you know, reproductive health was not always on par, and I went through a lot, you know, from a young age, like when I started my period. And what I want to mention in this video is that I think it was in 2018 or 2018, I found out that I had ovarian cysts. Well, it started off on my one ovary, and I think it was on my left side. After being sick for quite a while and you know, being in and out of the clinic and not knowing what's wrong with me, I decided to go to the gynae, and I found out that I had an ovarian cyst in my left ovary. And long story short, tried to treat that. Seemed like it had gone away. A couple of months later, or I think it was like almost a year later actually, I found out that I had another one on my right ovary and had to treat that too. So and with that being said, I had gone through a lot of reproductive issues besides just having ovarian cysts. I'm just touching up on, you know, where I come from, and you know, all of that really made me think that I wouldn't be able to have a child, you know. And I even mentioned in my how I found out I was pregnant video. And even though I never received any like factual, you know, evidence or confirmation that I would never be able to fall pregnant, but I honestly felt like, okay, maybe this will never happen for me, because I had experienced a lot of negative pregnancy tests before, as I mentioned in my video, and also just the fact that I had gone through so many reproductive issues, and I was just constantly sick. And I was just like, you know what, there's no way that someone who's going through all of what I'm going through could actually fall pregnant. So I had literally just lost hope. And when I found out I was pregnant, like, it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And I think I was just in a phase where I don't think anyone could have convinced me otherwise, you know, like maybe convinced me to have an abortion, or convinced me that, you know, my child is a mistake, or my child has come at the wrong time. Yes, at that time I was going through a lot, and I really thought, you know, in my mind that no, this is not the right time for me to have my child. But when I look back, I'm like, that was actually the perfect time for me to fall pregnant, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that my child is a blessing. And when I found out I was pregnant, I knew that I would receive a lot of, you know, judgment from people, you know, could have been family and friends. But I think my mind was so fixed on the fact that I know that it was a blessing from God. So anything that anyone could have done or said, I knew that it probably would, I would feel it, but I don't think it would have shaken me or affected me, you know, that much. So yeah, anyways, so that's a bit of background. So when I found out I was pregnant, as I mentioned in my previous video, that I had done my pregnancy test in a public toilet, and luckily for me, there was a lady who tried to console me after I found out I was pregnant, and she mentioned something to me about how whatever happens, you know, if you feel like it's not the right time, don't make any hasty decisions or haste decisions, because, you know, yes, you might look at this child and think, oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. You feel like it's not the right time. You feel like maybe you are not where you would like to be. But just think about the fact that what if this is your one and only child, and what if this is the only child that you'll ever have, you know? And guys, that really stuck with me. Like, it stuck with me so much, because I've heard, you know, of people who had abortions and couldn't have kids after that. And so for me personally, it really stuck with me, and I kept thinking about those people, and I was like, you know what, no matter what happens, no matter if I feel like this is not the right time, no matter how this is going to be overwhelming, one thing I know is that my child is a blessing. And I won't really act out of emotion, because sometimes our emotions can really deceive us. And I'm going to think things through, and I'll think through this decision too, you know. And, you know, whatever decision that I end up making, it will be an informed one, you know. So yeah, that's what happened. And I think for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know how much I've always wanted to be a mother. And I think I've mentioned it in the previous video also. And just the fact that it's something that I knew that I was called to be from a young age, you know. Like, I've always loved kids. I've always loved babies. I've like always had an infant obsession. So it was without a question that I am definitely going to be keeping my baby, regardless of the circumstance. And, you know, with that being said, I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I remember how she mentioned something that was so profound. And she said, having a child is not a physical thing, you know, it's a spiritual thing. And that is so true, because having a child is not just about bringing them into the world, or, you know, like carrying them for 9 months and then bringing them into the world, but it's more about, you know, God's purpose, you know. And this is the next point that I want to speak about, that I found so powerful. Like, you know how people always say, like they'll post a picture of their child, and this is without taking any shine from them or glory from them, but I've noticed, you know, how people write, they'd post a picture of them and their baby, or their baby, and, you know, they'd write how the one God has trusted me with, or, you know, thank you, Lord, for trusting me with this gift, or, you know, the ones that God has trusted me with, or something like that. And it really got me thinking, you know. I remember thinking about this, and God revealed something to me, and he revealed how having a child is not just about God trusting you. And I'm going to tell you why just now. It's more about God's purpose. It's God allowing you to carry someone for 9 months for his purpose, you know. And the point that I'm trying to make is that if it was more about trust, then what do we say about the people who fall pregnant and still drink alcohol, you know, become intoxicated, do drugs, smoke while they're pregnant, or people who don't take care of their bodies while they're pregnant, you know, or people who even end up having kids but don't take care of their kids well, or give their kids love and, you know, care and all of that, you know. Then if we say it's about God trusting them, then why would God trust someone with something that he knows the person won't take care of? And that's what got me thinking that it's not really about God trusting us. It's more about God giving you this person's purpose and allowing you to carry it for 9 months and bringing it onto this earth for his purpose. And that really opened my mind a lot, that, you know, even through my pregnancy, you know, I was always reminded that I'm carrying someone's purpose, and God has given me this purpose to bring into the earth, you know, for his purpose. So yeah, man, so many thoughts ran through my mind when I found out I was pregnant, and there were so many things that were more pros and more positive things that made me feel like, you know what, no matter what happens, I know that God has blessed me with this gift for his purpose. And in the same light, I was just reminded about how our lives are not meant to be the same, because if our lives were all the same, then it will defeat the whole purpose. Like if we all, you know, finished, you know, primary school at the same time, finished high school at the same time, in the same way, you know, went to varsity and, you know, finished in record time, you know, after that, got jobs, got married, had kids. Like if all our lives went in the same way, it would honestly defeat purpose, because our lives are meant to be different so that we can inspire different people. And that's what I believe personally. So if my life is going to go the same as 7 billion people's lives, then what's the purpose? Why am I even on earth? You know, and that's the point I want to come to, that your life won't go the same as the other person, because there's a different purpose that God has brought you on this earth for. So I can't expect my life to go the same way as the person next to me, and they can't expect their lives to go the same way as the next person, because if our lives are the same, then we might as well not be on earth, you know. So that's what I want to also put out there, that, you know, it was also a reminder for me that even though I'm not married and I'm having my child first, it doesn't mean that marriage won't come. And even though I'm not married and I'm having a child first, it doesn't mean that I've failed, but it simply means that, you know, God has decided for my life to be different. God has decided for my life to go the way it has gone. And he has his reasons, you know, even though it might not make sense when everything happens, but you will look back a few years later and it will all make sense. You will realize why things happened the way they happened. So yeah, that's another point that I want to put out there, that our lives are not meant to go the same way, and our lives shouldn't go the same way, because we should be experiencing different things at different times, you know, because even the things that we experience, they're meant to teach us things, they're meant to bring us lessons, you know. Okay, so with that being said, when I shared about my pregnancy with my family and friends, so firstly, I was fortunate enough, I don't know if I should call it fortunate, but yeah, my parents passed away, so I don't have parents. So that was at least one thing out of the way. There weren't any parents that I had to, you know, tell about my pregnancy, which was like a relief for me. And I was so grateful about that, honestly. But obviously there is like extended family that I had to, you know, tell, and obviously break the news to. And, you know, friends also like really close friends that I decided to tell, you know. I waited until I was, I think, 4 months, 3 months, ne? I waited until I was 4 months actually, before I told anyone about my pregnancy. Before I told actually like other people rather. We waited until I was at least 4 months. But it was very interesting to see certain people's reactions. And I think that journey taught me a lot, because some people reacted in ways that I didn't think they would. For instance, there were certain friends that, you know, you could tell that they were trying to act happy for you, but it was all pretense. I could tell from their reactions. And sometimes you can really feel things, guys. I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes you can feel someone's intentions. You can feel someone's vibe. Like there was just something that was off when I told certain people about my pregnancy. And funny enough is that the same people, I've really, you know, communicated with them, you know, ever since I told them I was pregnant. So with that being said, it was a very interesting season and journey, because some people were genuinely happy for me. I realized after some time that I think it was also because I was not married, and most of my friends, you know, are friends who are Christians and, you know, high believers and all of that. And I realized that I think some of the people who judged me because it was a thing of, how are you pregnant and you're not married yet? How are you having a baby and not married yet? You know, and I think I'm so grateful to God that before I had shared with the rest of my friends, you know, about my pregnancy, I had actually processed the whole thing of being pregnant. Because I feel like if I hadn't processed it yet, any other person's reaction would have kind of like made me have second thoughts about my pregnancy, or even doubt, you know, the timing of it. And that's another very strong point that I learned, is that it's very important for you to process things before you share, you know, with the world or with whoever that you plan to share them with. Because when you process something, when you think about it, and when you first go through it yourself before sharing with other people, it helps in the sense of whatever reaction you get from other people, whatever, you know, feedback you get from them, it doesn't really shake you that much, because you have processed the information and you are now in a place where you are strong and you know what you want, you know what your direction is. So, you know, any other person's, you know, mood or vibe or feeling or opinions even won't really shake you or really affect you that much. So yeah, the reactions that I received from, you know, certain friends were very interesting. And I think also it was a season for God to just reveal certain friends to me. And the season helped me to discern, you know, like in terms of, you know, who are my go-to people and who I can share certain things with, and who doesn't deserve a word from me, and, you know, certain people that, you know, make it comfortable for you to share certain news with, you know, people who are genuinely happy for me and my happiness, you know. So it revealed a lot to me. That journey revealed a lot to me. And when it comes to family, as I mentioned, I don't have parents, so at least there weren't any parents that I had to break the news to, but I had to tell certain family members, and my family is quite small. My family is not big. And when I say this, I mean people I'm close with, like very, very close with. Yes, I do have other extended family that I don't even speak with, that I don't have a relationship with. And not even that there's bad vibes, but it's just a thing of there's just distance and people are just living their own lives. There's no beefing or anything like that, and we're okay with it, you know. But I'm talking about close family members. They were happy for me, like they were really happy for me. I think the thing is, my family knew where I come from in terms of my health, and they knew about the desire that I've always had to have kids. And they also knew that I've always loved kids, because I mean, I've loved their own children like they are my own. So it was a thing of, you know, them being happy for me, because they knew that we know how much she's always wanted this. So she finally has got it, and we are so happy for her. So yeah, guys, like with certain negativity that I received from certain people, I was reminded by this quote that I really love so much, that says that sometimes God allows people to run their mouth about you so that they can see that they ran their mouth but still couldn't stop anything. And that's the thing about God. He will allow people to judge you. He will allow people to mock you. And you know what he does? He makes you shine in whatever season that he's put you in. He makes you so radiant. He makes you, and I'm not even talking about a physical glow or physical shine. I'm talking about shining spiritually, you know, succeeding in whatever season he's put you in, you know, giving you all the resources that you're going to need for you to excel in what you do. And you know what he does? He blesses you even more in that season to show those people that, and even though they may look at your blessing in a negative way, but he equips you for that journey. He blesses you, he provides for you, and through that process, you become so radiant. So yeah, guys, that's what I wanted to share basically about my journey of, you know, being pregnant and not married. There were a lot of lessons, and just a lot of things were revealed to me, and I'm so grateful for this journey, because I now have a clearer perspective, you know, about certain people and certain things, you know, and I basically now know who is for me in a way, you know, and who are my people, who's my tribe, who is genuine, you know, and people who really are happy for my happiness and have my best interest in their hearts. So yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please do give it a thumbs up if you did. Let's interact in the comment section. Let me know what were the feels when you told your family or your parents, or basically when you broke the news to family and friends about your pregnancy. How did they react? You know, how did you feel? Did you get some offish vibes like I did? Basically your whole experience. Let me know in the comment section, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.